Attention passionate Baltimore, Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Baltimore RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. What we're seeing here is truly remarkable, and honestly, it's shaking up the entire AFC North. You know, the Ravens, who have been battling that tough division, and let's face it, they're sitting at 1-4 right now, struggling to find consistency, especially on defense. Their pass rush, which has normally been a strength, has been underwhelming recently, averaging just about 2-3 sacks per game. That's not going to cut it when you're fighting for playoff positioning or a shot at the Super Bowl. And it's not just bad luck. There's a lot of strategic moves happening behind the scenes, and one of the biggest news stories right now is a blockbuster trade that's about to reshape the landscape. Sources close to the league, the same ones you'd call credible sources like Adam Schefter, are indicating a major intra-division move. Imagine this. The Ravens, who have been hit hard by recent roster shifts, losing Odafe via trade to the Chargers in exchange for a third-round pick, and also dealing with Tavius Robinson's injury, putting him out for 4 weeks, are now looking to make a bold move. And that move involves none other than Myles Garrett, the 5-time All-Pro star from the Cleveland Browns. Yes, you heard that right. Garrett, who's been a dominant force in the league since he was the first overall pick in 2017, could be headed to Baltimore. And honestly, it makes sense when you look at the big picture. The Browns, who have started the season at 0-5 and are struggling behind a defense that's allowing over 33 points per game, are in a precarious position. They're trying to rebuild, but with an $8 million cap space, tight for a team with their current struggles, they're prioritizing future assets. They're focusing on acquiring draft picks and younger talent, especially on the offensive line, which has been leaking sacks at a rate of 5-1 per game. The trade package for Garrett is reportedly a first-round pick in 2026, and edge David Ojabo, who's shown flashes but still has room to grow, especially in his PFF grade of 69. 8 and just 1 sack this season. Now, the Ravens, with about $14 million in cap space after absorbing Garrett's hefty $25 million cap hit, are adding a true game-changer to their front seven. Garrett, who's projected to be a rush colossus, could boost the Ravens' pass rush dramatically. If he joins Baltimore, experts believe he could bring his career average of 95 sacks and 18 forced fumbles to a new level, especially in this new environment. His recent stats in 2025 are eye-popping: 7 sacks and 40 pressures in just 5 games, with a PFF grade of 92.6, which puts him among the league's elite pass rushers. His win rate in pass rush situations hovers around 23%, and his ability to force QB hits, about 2.6 per game, could turn Baltimore's defense into a nightmare for offenses. Think about that for a second. Pairing Garrett with Jadeveon Clowney, who's also been a disruptive force, would create a front line that's almost impossible to handle. This duo could push the pressure rate of the Ravens' pass rush from a modest 31% to nearly 48%. That's a massive upgrade. It's no exaggeration to say that Garrett, with his elite finesse moves and elusiveness, could turn Baltimore into a defensive juggernaut. His career stats, almost 100 sacks, with 21 hurries per game, show a player who's relentless and consistently productive. And with no injuries reported in 2025, the Ravens would be getting him at full strength, ready to make an immediate impact. This potential trade also has huge implications for the playoff picture. The odds of Baltimore winning the Super Bowl, which were previously around +20.0, are now being pushed down to +8.0 at BetMGM, a clear indication of how much this move could elevate their chances. Garrett's ability to disrupt mobile quarterbacks, who have been the kryptonite for many defenses, makes him a perfect fit in Baltimore's game plan. His postseason production, averaging nearly 3 sacks per playoff appearance, suggests he's a player who can change the outcome of big games when it matters most. And adding him to a team that's already been fighting hard could be the difference maker in the AFC. Now, Let's talk about the Cleveland Browns for a moment. They're taking a calculated risk here, trading away a star like Garrett when their defense is already struggling. Allowing an average of 33 points per game isn't going to win many games, no matter how talented the individual players are. The Browns are clearly prioritizing future assets and cap flexibility, focusing on building through the draft and managing their cap space more wisely. They're also looking at extensions for players like Miles Jack, trying to keep some veteran leadership around as they rebuild. But the big question is, how do the Ravens benefit from this? Well, it's simple. With Garrett, they could see a surge in their pass rush productivity. His addition could mean an extra 4-2 sacks per game, which is huge in a league where every sack counts. His presence would help Baltimore's defense become more aggressive, more disruptive, and more capable of shutting down potent offenses. It's not just about the sacks. Garrett's pressure rate increase would also force quarterbacks into hurried throws, leading to more turnovers and easier scoring opportunities for Lamar Jackson and the offense. And speaking of Lamar, his game would also see some positive shifts. With Garrett and Clowney creating a more hostile environment for opposing quarterbacks, Lamar could see fewer forced scrambles, roughly an extra 1-0 second in the pocket, and more opportunities to execute RPOs and deep throws. The added pressure on defenses would open up the running game and give Lamar even more room to operate, which could be a crucial factor in turning around the Ravens' season. Looking ahead, the AFC North is in a state of flux. The Steelers, Bengals, and Browns are all trying to find their footing, but this potential Garrett trade could tip the balance of power significantly. The Ravens, who are currently sitting behind in divisional standings, could leapfrog their rivals and establish themselves as serious contenders once again. Their odds to win the AFC title and go deep into the playoffs are already improving, and adding a player like Garrett could push those odds even further. This trade, if it goes through, might just be the catalyst that rejuvenates Baltimore's defense and reaffirms their status as a Super Bowl contender. It's a bold move, but one that makes perfect sense given the current landscape. The Ravens have always been a team that maximizes talent and executes smartly, and acquiring Garrett could be the move that puts them over the top this season. So, fans, keep your eyes peeled, because this story isn't over yet. The deadline is approaching, and if this trade happens, it's going to be one of the most talked about moves in recent NFL history. Will the Browns make the deal? Will the Ravens pull the trigger? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure. Things are about to get very interesting in the AFC North. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Baltimore Ravens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Baltimore Ravens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster move? Do you think Garrett would be the perfect addition to turn things around? Or do you believe there are better options out there? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of this team. The Ravens are at a crossroads, and every opinion counts. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Baltimore Ravens news because this season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory. We're witnessing a team trying to rewrite its story, and with moves like this, the future looks bright. Thanks for being part of this journey, and as always, go Ravens!